What if Ruby was in The Land Before Time 2, The Great Valley Adventure? Part 1. It had been a season cycle, and Ruby, along with her parents, Trudy and Rodney, were happily settled in the Great Valley. Ruby was 7 years old and glad to be in a safe place where she and her friends, Littlefoot the Longneck, Sarah the Three-Horn, Petrie the Flyer, Ducky the Swimmer, and Spike the Spiketail could play without fear of being stalked and killed by a Sharptooth. Atop a hill, they rolled rocks down it. That was till a mother called out to them, "Hey, you kids, stop rolling those rocks down that hill. My nest is protected here." "Oh, sorry." "It wasn't all that fun anyway. Whose stupid idea was this?" It was mine, Sarah." "Oh, figures." "Well, it was no fun. Nope. Petrie landed on Spike's head. Boring." "Come on, guys. The more you're unhappy, the less you're happy. Besides, we have plenty of space to play. All we have to do is find a space to play." I know. We can go to the sheltering grass and play Sharptooth Attack." Ducky laughed and walked around in a fearsome manner. "Roar!" "No way, 'cause you'll make me the Sharptooth." "Hey, why not Spike be Sharptooth? Huh, Spike?" Spike gave a nod, to which all rejoiced. "Yay, we're going to the sheltering grass. Yep. The gang were on the move, Littlefoot speaking up. "Hold on. To get to the tall grass, we have to cross the sinking sand." "And your point is?" "My grandparents don't want me crossing the sinking sand without them." "Littlefoot's right. Right, Littlefoot is. It's too dangerous for us to go without proper supervision." "Well, you're older than us, Ruby, so technically, we're not breaking the rules if you're there." "Sarah, that's not what I meant." "Well, we're going whether you two like it or not. So you can either be sticks in the mud or come with us." Sarah led the others away, Littlefoot giving in and going along. Ruby waited for a moment, glancing from where the adults grazed to the backs of her friends. Sarah was right. Ruby was the oldest and in some way was responsible for the rest, going after them instead. The six reached the sinking sand, looking at it with large eyes. Sharing a worried look, Petrie spoke up. "What we do now?" "Well, we cross it, that's what." Sarah gave a hump and ambled close to the bank. "My dad just jumps from rock to rock. I could do it with my eyes closed." "Your father is bigger than you, has longer legs than you, Sarah. Look, let's go back and play another game." "She's right. I don't have a good feeling about this." "You're all just scaredy eggs, but I'm not, and I'll prove it to you." With a running start, Sarah jumped and almost went into the sand, climbing onto a rock. "See?" Before she knew it, Sarah's feet slipped out from under her, and into the sinking sand she went. Ducky jumped over and tried to pull Sarah out. Only given her small size, she was unable to assist Sarah properly. "I got you, Sarah. I do. Thinking fast, Ruby took charge of the situation. "Petrie, go get the grown-ups, quickly!" Me go fast!" "Sarah!" Littlefoot ran and leapt over to help pull her out. "Littlefoot, wait!" Ruby called. Spike jumped in next, trying to help Littlefoot yank at Sarah, the three sinking into the sand. Looking around, Ruby grabbed a vine and tied the far end to a tree, going over to help her friends. "Stop moving, be still, you should remain, otherwise you'll sink faster." They did as Ruby instructed and sank slower, keeping their heads above the surface. "Now, I'm going to toss this vine in. Hang on to it." Swinging it over her head, it flew out at them, all grabbing on. Ruby yanked and pulled for all she was worth, doing well till the vine frayed and snapped, Ruby being drug in herself. Sarah held an unamused expression as Ruby sat beside her. "Nice, Ruby. Really nice." "Well, that didn't go as I hoped." "Don't lose hope. I'm sure Petrie will bring the grown-ups here in no time." Ruby was close to Ducky, picking her up and throwing her to the safety of the bank. "Thank you, Ruby, but what about you guys?" "We'll be okay." No, he won't. We're sinking. Slowly, Ruby's shoulders sank under her, her neck slipping downward. Sarah and Spike only had seconds, given they didn't have long necks. Littlefoot sucked air and breathed heavily. Trembling, Littlefoot went under before Ruby, who gasped as panic set in, thinking they'd sink and never resurface again. Guys! Ducky called, unable to save them. The sand touched her chin, forcing Ruby to take a deep breath, seeing a set of shapes approach them across the horizon. Unable to keep her eyes open, Ruby disappeared and held her breath, unsure what happened during or after her death. A long tail dipped in, moving around to draw the kids out. The group hung on to the vine that kept them tethered together, coughing and sputtering. Able to get air, they got their senses together and shared tired smiles. We're on land! Littlefoot froze when he saw the grown-ups gazing down at them. Uh-oh. Ruby was helped to her feet by her father, who ushered her back to their nest. The other children were called home, a scolding awaiting each and every one of them. In the secret caverns, Ruby sat by a nest, a set of eggs placed within, her new siblings. If she were lucky, her parents wouldn't force her to stay by the eggs as punishment. Ruby, we are disappointed in you. You and your friends could have gotten hurt today. As the oldest, you should have known better. Mother, I tried, but I'm sorry. I know you think we're being harsh. Harsh you must believe us to be. But you are going to be an older sister. Your siblings will look up to you, will follow your behavior. So you must set a good example. Yes, I would do better at being responsible, Father. The pair hugged her. We made it this far. We don't want to lose our greatest gift. Trudy kissed the top of Ruby's head. We love you so much, Ruby. We don't want to see you get hurt. Okay, I'll stay close by. After they grazed for the evening, Ruby settled into her sleeping spot, vowing to herself she'd do better, be better for her new siblings. Slumbering peacefully, a pebble hit her and she blinked, hearing a whisper, someone wanting her to exit the secret caverns. With a yawn, Ruby got to her feet and left her sleeping parents, who were curled around the nest. Outside was the gang, Sarah calling them to the top of a rocky area where they could speak without being seen or heard. I'm sure you all got the same lecture I did. All shook their heads to this, Petrie elaborating what his mother told him. Me too young to wander far. We are not grown-ups and should remember that. Yep. There are many dangers. I must always be careful. Don't hang around with long necks, big mouths, spiked tails, a flyer, and a fast runner. Sarah turned to see her friend's unamused expressions. What can I say? It's always the same lecture. I think you are all missing the point you seem to forget. Our parents traveled very far to reach the Great Valley, to raise us without fear of sharp teeth. Still, while we are safe within the Great Walls, there are still dangers. They're only worried for us. Ugh, reliable Ruby at it again. Quite frankly, I'm tired of being treated like an egg. Same. It gets old. So what we do about it? We run away. That's a bit much, don't you think? Yeah, where we run to? We could stay up here. That's silly. They'd find us in no time. No, we sit up so high. Plus, you can see everything from up here. Sarah boasted, turning to the valley below. The group gazed outward, seeing far and wide. The what caught their eyes were a set of mysterious beings creeping up to Ducky's parents' nest, taking an egg and slipping away. Oh no, they're egg-napping part of our family. Let's go tell the grown-ups. Littlefoot turned to leave, only for Sarah to rush in front of him. Sarah, why are you stopping me? Hold up. If we catch them ourselves, then the adults won't treat us like babies. Oh yes, that is a great idea. I don't know, Sarah. We should probably still let the adults know where we're going. There's 6 of us and only 2 of them. What could go wrong? Everything, Sarah. Come on, it's now or never. Oh, fine, let's do it. All right, let's go get 'em. The group took off, spotting the pair of egg stealers who made their way to the mysterious beyond. Once the pair vanished over the Great Wall, Sarah had doubts about her once brilliant idea. Maybe we should go back. It's too late for that. They'll get away. This was your idea, Sarah. You coming or not? Sarah gave a snort and ran, breaking a rock that stood in her path, catching up to the group. Onward, they crossed a small cavern, leaving the safety of the valley behind them. There were a few loud rumbles as a storm approached, sky water falling from above. They entered a cave for shelter, running into the egg stealers, and all panicked, hardly able to see. Ruby did her best to keep everyone together as the earth moved under their feet, an avalanche of rock, sweeping outward. Carried along, the rocks and the gang tumbled down a sloped hill. They came to a stop, Peachy and Ducky almost falling off into a pool of hot bubbling goo. Ruby got herself together fast, making sure they were all accounted for. We're okay, but the egg, where is it? Judging by the piles of rock, all assumed the worst. I'm afraid it might have gotten smushed in the rock slide. Oh, bye-bye, baby brother. Or sister. Oh, Ducky, I'm so sorry. Besides, you've got a whole nest full of eggs back in the valley. Sarah! Snapped Littlefoot, knowing then wasn't the time to state the obvious. But that was going to be my favorite. There was no other egg like it. Ducky then saw an egg off to the side. Well, except that one. Ducky, it's the egg! It's fine, we did it! They cheered and gathered around to admire the egg. Ruby took it in her hold, keeping it close to her body so it stayed warm. It was early morning when they reached Ducky's nest, Ducky rolling the egg back only to gasp. All peered at it, realizing the egg was much bigger than the swimmer eggs. Knowing something was off, they left the nest to inspect the new egg. If Ducky's egg was back in the nest, whose is this? Maybe egg stealers steal it from other nests. I think it's time we address the adults about this. Oh, no. Sarah blocked Ruby off. If we tell the grown-ups, they'll put us back in our nests. We don't tell the adults anything, right? All nodded, Ruby still hesitant. Right. Fine. But if things get too hard, I'm telling. Ruby walked by to stand with the group. So, who's going to look after the egg till we find out who it belongs to? We are silly. Us? Parents? Yes, my mama sit on egg, keep warm, make hatch. Me sit on egg. Petrie struggled to climb atop the big egg, straddling it once there. Well, I think I'll make the best parent out of all of us. Sarah nuzzled the egg gently with her horn. Why is that? Because I'll let her have anything she wants. Oh, yes, our baby will never hear no. No, 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 no. They gasped when the egg moved, cracks running along the shell. A foot broke out, followed by the body, the top covering the baby's face. With a toss of the head, the shell was removed to reveal a baby Sharptooth. With a shout of fear, the group fled for the hills, all except Ruby, who remained calmly by the nest. Guys, wait! He's a baby he is. He's no threat, a threat he's not. Littlefoot was the only one not to leave, not by choice, of course, but because his neck got hung up in the vines, which sent him flying backwards to the ground. Then he got up, screamed, and only made a few steps before noticing Ruby didn't run. He's not chasing us. No, Littlefoot, he's a baby, harmless. In fact, he's more vulnerable than us. Ruby looked down at him, the baby peering around, trying to make out his surroundings. Though when his eyes focused and he saw her clearly, he nuzzled her. Oh, he must think you're his mama. Littlefoot walked over, Chomper turning to him next. Sorry, little guy, but Ruby's not your mother, nor I your father. Littlefoot went ahead, forgetting that the baby couldn't walk. Ruby gave out a sigh, helping the baby up, making sure he didn't fall. When the baby was stable, he began to chomp at the flying buzzards that zipped about. Hey, he doesn't have a name. What should we call him? How about, Chomper? Chomper, do you like your name? He let out a small noise and rushed to hug Ruby. As his guardians, we should really get him more food. Good idea. Littlefoot held a worried expression. Oh, I know what Sharpteeth like, but we don't have any of that here. Biting upon a small branch, Littlefoot offered it to Chomper. There, these are delicious. Littlefoot, I'm not too sure that'll suit Chomper too well. Immediately after taking a few bites, Chomper spit and let out a small whimper. Oh, I think I should get some advice from my grandparents. Walking away, Littlefoot uttered under his breath, If Sarah ever finds out, she'll kill me. Alone with Chomper, Ruby only shook her head. I didn't want to be the one to say he was wrong to try and feed you leaves. You're a Sharptooth you are. Therefore, you need other forms of meat. Ruby offered Chomper a hand, helping him to forage. Burrowing into her, Ruby only smiled at him. Ruby held Chomper up to grab a wiggling worm, even found him an ant's nest. When he had his fill, he yawned, ready to nap, Ruby staying by him to keep him safe. Her eyes half shut, till she heard yelling, knowing the screams belonged to her friends. Hurry, Chomper, we must go help the others. Ruby got up and stopped, Chomper struggling to keep up. Clearly, he was not going to be as fast as she, though fast runners were known for their quickness. Turning back around, she picked him up, running quickly to where the sound came from. The egg stealers cornered the group, yelling at them with anger for having their meal stolen from. By the time Ruby and Chomper showed up, the gang were forced closer to the edge. Where is my egg? Your egg? Sarah, despite the scary situation, still managed to put on a brave face. It hatched. What do you think happened? My egg hatched before I could eat it. Strut stepped in, placing a hand on his brother's shoulder. Calm down, Ozzy. It was just an egg. It wasn't just an egg, it was our dinner! A dinner that was robbed from us! Slapping Strut on the head with his tail, Ozzy continued his rant. I'm warning all of you, stay out of my way! Leave my friends alone! Littlefoot! We are saved! Just what I can't stand, a bossy weed whacker! Ozzy loomed over Littlefoot, who backed up, only to see a great shadow appear across the rock. Everyone gasped, for the shape belonged to a Sharptooth. Sharptooth! In a panic, the brothers, in a desperate attempt to save themselves, leapt over the ledge and down into the ravine.